So Thursday, April 3rd, 2014. This is the oldest training log that I currently still have in my possession. August 4th, 2014. Let's go down memory lane for a second. We've got a chest press for 55 pounds for 12. Y'all, that's the bar plus 5 pounds on each side 4 years ago. So anybody who thinks that strength gains happen overnight, over a year, lesson to be learned. Decline dumbbell fly. So first off, I haven't done a decline dumbbell fly in a hot minute, so I should probably do that. 20 for 12. 20 pounds for 12. So that means I've gained, I think 25 pound ability to be able to do, well, a dumbbell fly, incline or flat. Like I said, I haven't done a decline dumbbell fly in a while. Should probably do that. Lying tricep kickback, 10 pounds. Cable rope tricep press downs, starting at 80, dropping down to 60. So homegirl could improve on those a little bit more probably, because I think I'm only in the hundreds for those tricep press downs. Here's a good one, leg press. 180 for 12 reps. That's only 2 plates on each side. Hope you guys enjoyed this trip down memory lane. And now we're gonna talk a little bit about why I have all these logs and purpose behind them and how I set up my training logs. So I hope you guys enjoy this video.
Take it out, don't let it slow down. 'Cause this is different, this is patience. No, I'm never gonna waste it. Too much too soon, is it right now? Let me in, I'm waiting outside.
And this is my little distraction. Hi, Bobby. Did you miss me? Oh, the baby. The baby, you missed me. All right, good morning, you guys. That clip you just saw is actually the leading into what I want to chat with you guys today about is my training logs. So that was an accumulation of 3 years of training journals. So I have been tracking my training consistently for the past 3 years. And I typically have always done that in the past. Those are just the ones I've gotten saved. I just started saving them about 3 years ago because I thought it would help me. And I also refer back to them many, many times to see my progress. A couple weeks ago, I had somebody ask me to do a video on this topic. And a lot of people have asked in the past about my training journals. So, question I want to ask you guys here today is for you guys to go ahead in the comments below. Let me know some topics you guys want to see discussed in 2018 so I can definitely add those to my brainstorming list for you guys. And hopefully, like I said, this is an enjoyable topic for you guys. So let's go ahead and dive into it. I'm gonna go ahead and get my most recent training log. So that is this Work It book. I believe I got this at TJ Maxx. Most of my training logs have come from either Target or TJ Maxx. I really like ones that have lines. First off, like lines is really important for me, not blank pages. I just like to have the availability to structure my training around said lines. Typically, I always put a couple of different information here. So I put the date of the gym, or excuse me, the date of the session along with the location of the gym. Now, if you train at the same spot all the time, this might not be valuable to you, but I tend to train at different gyms throughout the city, or I have to travel a lot. So I travel a lot to see friends, family, and for work. So I always wanna know, hey, I might have trained at a different gym, so this number might not be ideal, or I was traveling. So there are impacts my training in general from traveling, such as, you know, hip mobility, stiffness in my back, whatnot. So I might just deload in general because I was traveling. So whenever I go back to refer, I have those notes. Next thing is I always put the day of my training cycle that it is, the group that I'm training, the objective here. So the objective here for this particular day was volume. So I was looking to train at a higher volume, lower load factors throughout my training. So I have been training in a load/volume structure for many, many years. I alternate between. Right now, currently, I still focus on load and volume for my major 4 lifts for the day. And then I typically have like some auxiliary or some supplemental work that I need to work on for building said areas for bikini. And those I typically am not right now just doing volume in. I'm not gonna train load in those auxiliary movements right now because they're not taking precedent in my programming. So I'm gonna go ahead and write out my training for today before I go train, and you guys can see how I'm doing everything.
First things first, every training log gets entered with a date. I think that's very valuable, pretty intuitive, along with the location in which I'm training at. So this is my first time training in the new year back at the Katie Hearn Gym. I'm super excited about it. Give it a bunch of asterisks and stars. And then the next thing at the top is I put my body part split focus for the day. So today is going to be the glute hams region, and the first thing we're going to start off with is mobility. So you guys are going to get to see how I mobilize my hips for this particular session. And the first one we're going to see here is the frog pumps. The frog pumps really help open up my hips, especially for me being in the car many hours this past holiday. And then we're going to go into these banded lateral walks. The band around my legs is the Mark Bell hip circle, and I do use a size small. The third movement here is the glute ham raise. I do these unweighted when they're part of my mobility routine in the very beginning of my set. And let's go ahead and get into the workout. So typically with the first 1 to 2 movements of my workouts for the day, I will spend 1 to 3 sets in a warm-up range. So what you guys are seeing here is actually my working set. This is going to be 225 on the hip thrusts for me. And what you can see me writing down is how I distinguish between my warm-up sets and my working sets. I typically use the acronym WU for warm-up and WK for my working, just so I can signify to myself the range that I was working in for each section. Now we're going to move into the second movement of my workout, which is actually a movement substitution. I was originally planning on doing the sumo box squats, as you see me riding here. Unfortunately, all the squat racks were taken. The gym was very busy, so I actually decided to go with the Smith machine sumo squat. I went with this because A, it's the similar foot position, but B, I can also play around with the level of intensity I can add at the bottom, and I can actually pause briefly before I rise up. So it's kind of similar to the box squat. So I worked with that substitution. The third straight set in this workout is actually the glute press down, or what I like to call the glute press down. I'm not sure if that's the accurate terminology for it, but it's basically a weighted press down. So I'm using the assisted weighted machine to do so. Notice how I'm kind of hinged slightly forward to really keep the tension in my glutes, and I really start to feel it active there. And then we're going to move on to this powerful superset. I absolutely love this superset for my hamstrings. The dumbbell RDL immediately into a lying leg curl, which initially I hadn't planned on doing this, but again, equipment availability at the Katie Hearn Gym this day was kind of busy, so I decided to do one of my favorite supersets. So please understand that this clip is sped up, but I want you to pay close attention to the quick contraction from my heels to my glutes and the slow release. That's really the focus of this particular lying leg curl paired with the dumbbell RDL, is the lengthening of the hamstring.
All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that unique way of me doing some voiceovers, some clips of the actual training movements while I write down my training log. Quick reminder that you guys know that you've probably seen in my film or my footage somewhere on Instagram that I do have an Excel spreadsheet of my training, because I do like to plan out my particular training volume, groundwork or foundation in an Excel spreadsheet, so then I can track my volume a little easier with equations. Because I do travel at multiple gyms around town and travel for work, you know, that is just a foundation. That is just some objectives to hit, but there are various motor patterns that can be done that are comparable to what that foundation is that I set. So while I have an Excel spreadsheet, sometimes I do make calls based on where I'm training. So for example, I was training at the Katie Hearn Gym today. So I was able to make some calls based on the machines and equipment that she has available to her there at that gym. which is super important for you to be flexible in your training. You want to hit objectives, but you also do want to continuously try to aim to be flexible in your training. So you cannot set these like stipulations on things, and instead of just skipping a movement in general because it's not available, it helps you work your brain to try to find a substitution that works. So while I do recommend Excel spreadsheets for tracking, obviously I like the pen and paper. I like to feel really connected to my training log. It also prevents me from using my phone while I'm training and getting distracted by my phone. Typically I just have my phone out for music purposes and maybe catching a couple clips for my Instagram story, but I really try hard to not have my phone available with me at all times while I'm training. So I hope you guys enjoyed this really quick video. I hope this was helpful. If you like these quick tips and tricks for improving your training, like I said, comment below. I'm really open to some topics that you guys have for the new year that you really are interested in. If you have those, comment below. Please give me a thumbs up if you liked this style of video. I'm trying to keep my videos a little short and sweet and more informative, so subscribe to my channel if you like what I'm going with here. And if you want to see more of this, definitely let me know. I will see you guys in Instagram. I will see you guys in the comments below, and hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. I need it around my legs. Put it around my legs. Thank you.
No. Hi, Chanel's channel. We're back. I'm going in. And I'm gonna go. Okay. Don't cut that out, Chanel. You have to leave that in the vlog.
Ready for the chase now.